Well guys, here it is, the long-awaited video that I've been meaning to do for a while, but just haven't, and pushed it off because it's going to take so long. So strap in folks, as I tell the grand tale of the 21 Pilots lore. Now, I'm just going to put it out there, this video is not going to include a lot of fan theories, as well as talking about every single Easter egg ever, because that would take way too long. I'm serious guys, everything that this band does is connected to lore somehow. The little cute Christmas song that they did, yeah, it's just lore. It turns out it's lore. So this is going to be just a little crash course so you understand the world and the players in it and how they all work together. Okay, cool. As I've mentioned before, this band does a lot of cryptic things, but the storyline really didn't kick in until Blurryface in every album after. So let's do it like that, shall we? By every single album. As the title suggests, Blurryface is the album where we get introduced to, well, Blurryface. In this era, we see Blurryface depicted as Tyler Joseph himself, with a black neck, black hands, and red eyes. No, those are not tattoos. Let me just get that out of the way, not tattoos. Blurryface is just a personification of Tyler's depression and anxiety, hence the black neck and hands. He explains that his anxiety makes him feel like he's choking, so hence the black paint. And because of what Blurryface represents, we often see this ongoing storyline of Tyler trying to defeat Blurryface, trying to battle Blurryface, trying to face his anxiety. That's what's really interesting about this world, is that everything in it, and all the characters in it, and everything that goes on in this story can be paralleled to the journey of mental health. It's essentially Tyler just telling his story and how to help others, which is very interesting as a psychology major. There are plenty of things to discover within the Blurryface album, but the main thing that you need to know is that Blurryface is the personified anxiety who Tyler is trying to fight. Good. Got it? Alright, let's move on. The next installment to this lore is Trench, and oh man, is this when the world building kicks in. Blurryface had plenty to discover, but really the only thing that we needed to know was that Blurryface was this evil force controlling Tyler. Trench told us that there is a whole world that exists beyond this. Much like Blurryface describing the character Blurryface, Trench is talking about the land that this story takes place in. And Trench is essentially in between two places. Trench is the place where you want to be and where you're at, which is kind of like where you want to be on your mental health journey and where you're at. See what's going on there? Now within Trench, there's the city called Dima, and oh boy, is that a bad place to be. The citizens of Dima can never leave the city, and they are controlled by 9 bishops, all correlating to a song on the album Blurryface. Now the head honcho in charge is Nicholas Bourbaki, otherwise known as Nico. Nico and the Niners. And even though Nico looks a little different, he is someone we have absolutely met before. He's Blurryface. He is Blurryface. Nico is Blurryface. Blurryface is Nico. They are the same person. And of course, as you can imagine, Tyler is stuck in Dima. I think one can see how this easily parallels with the mental health journey. Dima is not a place you want to be. It represents a very dark headspace, where anxiety and depression and insecurities control you. Trench, on the other hand, aka the place you want to be, represents the healing journey, where you're past that hump and you're on the road to recovery. But you might be asking, Layton, how does one get from Dima to Trench? Well, I'll tell you one thing, Nico doesn't make it very easy to do so. Now, the only creatures in this world that can travel from Dima to Trench are vultures. Now, a slang term for vultures in this world are trash dragons, which we'll get into later. But there are people who exist in this world who look up to the vultures, who want to be the vultures, who do not want to be trapped anymore and to go freely wherever they want to. But there's this teeny tiny little religion problem that keeps most people in Dima. I really hope I'm saying this right, but the bishops have a religion called Vialism, which is essentially trying to keep the hopes down of the Dima citizens so they never try to escape and they never try to question what's going on. Sounds like a pretty bleak world, huh? Well, not all hope is lost because we have the Bandidos. The Bandidos are a group of people living in Trench who help people of Dima escape from the city. Of course, going back to the whole parallel thing, the Bandidos represent friends and family and loved ones in your life that can help you escape this dark mindset. Now, in order to keep hope down, the bishops tell Dima's citizens that the Bandidos are nothing more than a myth, but I can tell you right now, they are absolutely real. And the leader of this operation is none other than Torchbearer himself, Josh. Now, one of the common storylines in Trench is that Josh and the Banditos are trying to help Tyler escape Dima, but that old pesky Nico just keeps snatching them right back. But I think that's an important detail to add. The self-journey is not linear. When it comes to mental health, there are good days and there are bad days. There are days when you are in Trench with the Banditos, and there are days when you're in Dima with Nico. Another really quick thing with the Banditos, they're often depicted as wearing yellow. Now, yellow is a sign of hope and rebellion in Trench, but it's also theorized that bishops cannot see yellow. So not only is wearing yellow an act of rebellion, but it's also camouflage. So oftentimes Banditos try to cover in yellow tape what they hold dear. Like if we look at Josh here, for example, he covers up his heart and his Tyler tattoo. So he's trying to protect his heart and Tyler, which, you know, is kind of cute. But anyways, Trench also introduced us to a number of other different characters, including a character named Clancy, who is really a side character in all of this because his storyline does not cross over with Tyler and Josh's, but is rather told alongside of it. We have never seen Clancy, just letters that he has written, but we do know some key details about him. Mainly that his name means son of red or ruddy warrior. So could he be a bishop's son? We don't know. And also the fact, well, he's dead.
He's dead!
Or is he? Dun dun dun. Some other characters that Trench introduces us to is Ned, who we'll really get into later, Jason Statham the cheetah, and Clifford the vulture. That's really all I have to say about this. So here's what we have so far if you're trying to keep up. So basically we have this guy named Blurryface, otherwise known as Nico or Nicholas Bourbaki, who is a part of the 9 bishops controlling this place called Dima. But the people in Dima are really sad, so they want to end up in Trench. When over there in Trench are the Banditos, who help the Dima citizens escape. Alright, cool. Seems pretty dark and sinister already. There's no way we can make it worse. Oh, we absolutely can. Trench was an album that introduced us to this world, but Skeld and Icy was an album that really got into the world building. I mean, I saw the teasers for this and I was like, oh, it's so cute and colorful. It's not. It's not cute and colorful. There's nothing cute about this. It's very dark and sinister, okay? Since Blurryface, every album title is some sort of reference to the lore, and Skeld and Icy is no different. If you unscramble the words of Skeld and Icy, it actually means Clancy is dead.
Oh, he's dead!
Again, I say, is he really dead? We don't really know. But we do know things have gotten significantly worse from the time between Trench and Skeld and Icy. I mean really bad. As it turns out, the 9 bishops controlling Dima can also possess you. Isn't that lovely? During the Skeld and Icy era, we can see plenty of examples of the bishops taking control of someone else. And as it turns out, Tyler and Josh are also being mind controlled by the bishops. Now I understand in actuality Tyler and Josh just wanted to explore the pop genre, but within the lore, the songs seem fluffy and happy on the outside, but are much darker when you start actually digging into the lyrics, because the bishops are forcing them to be happy and compliant, and not to rebel and escape Dima. So not only is it Tyler back in Dima, but apparently Josh is there too, which, great. And Josh apparently has Godzilla powers? Not sure where that comes in, but that's a thing. Again, not all hope is lost, because the bishops are not the only one that can take control. Remember that cute little fuzzy guy I mentioned earlier? Ned. God bless him. Well, turns out Ned actually means Neuro Expansion Device, which in Fortnite terms means that you can get his antlers, do a little dance, and possess somebody. But this is just an example of one of the ways that you can overcome some of the obstacles in your life. As it turns out, Ned is a symbol of creativity. Now, creativity is something that Tyler feels that he constantly has to feed because, well, it's technically his job, but it's also a way that he can take control of the things controlling him. Now, 21 Pilots have always been a big supporter of creating art to help you build purpose in this life. Tyler claims that if you can create something and you can be the only one in the world to explain that thing, then you have some sort of meaning in this life and you can build on that and find your purpose. Which, as a fellow artist, I absolutely eat that up, and I agree. So as it turns out, Ned is not just adorable, he is a literal weapon. Now there is one character I haven't mentioned, and he is a very big symbol in this Skeld and Icy album. Oh, he's, I don't know, the giant blue dragon on the album cover. This big guy's name is Trash, which, as I mentioned before, Trash Dragon is just a slang for vultures. So this guy might just be a mutated vulture. I don't know. Now, at first, a lot of fans wanted to think that Trash was bad because, well, he just looks evil. And not gonna lie, he was pretty ambiguous up until the Saturday music video. In this music video, we can see that Trash is actually trying to help Tyler and Josh escape the evil Dima submarine. And every time Trash shows up, the bishops like to sound this alarm, which we can find many times in many different areas. You can pick up this sounding alarm in the Saturday music video, but also in the Scaled and Icy live stream event that they did. So as it turns out, Trash is a threat to Dima. And that's really all we know at this point, because apparently he's dead!
He's dead!
So, where are we at now? Well, it appears that neither Tyler or Josh have fully escaped Dima, even though a dragon and whatever this is on their side. And I know that seems like a very unsatisfying way to end this lore, but that's really all we know at this point, because we have one more album that is supposed to finish this storyline once and for all. So, you know, by the time that album comes out, I'll be making another video. Now, there is so much of this that I just kind of glossed over, because there are so many details and so many storylines and so many theories that go along in this 21 Pilots world. But my intent of this video was just to give you a basic understanding, and also because if I went way into it, you would think that I'm crazy. So the next time that you have a conversation with a clicky, I don't know why you'd want to do that, you can have some sort of understanding of whatever they're yapping about. So yeah, I hope this was somewhat beneficial. If you liked the video, please hit like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.